Have mercy. Your brother from the gutter, the slick one, back behind the wood for the open bar. The Tuesday edition of the open bar. We are here in early October 2024. And wow, Florida just can't get a break, can they? They just got done with Helene, and now they've got Milton bearing down on their ass, the Gulf Coast. Category 5 hurricane. Just brutal. Just brutal. You couldn't pay me to live in Florida. I mean, it's just these hurricanes are just getting worse and worse and worse. Forget about some of the lunatics that live there, like the governor, for example. But on top of that shit, you got to deal with these outrageous hurricanes. My uncle's house down there had 3 foot of water in it, and a lot of insurance companies don't even want to insure homes anymore down there. You're really taking your chances if you're on the coast of Florida there. So the Bills, what happened? What is happening to my Buffalo Bills? We started out so good, 3-0, and then we started to play some really good teams, and shit is getting out of control. We lost, of course, to the Ravens, and, of course, yesterday, the Houston game, just brutal. The offense, Josh Allen was, what did he have, 9? What was he, 9 for 30? His worst game ever as far as passing goes. And it's really a combination of things with the offense. I think these teams are getting a lot of pressure on Allen, and they're forcing him to basically beat man coverage with the receivers that we have, because we have a bunch of mediocre receivers. Without Shakir, I mean, it really was a glaring problem yesterday because nobody was getting open. Like they should, getting the separation that they should. Also, some of it goes on Allen because there were times when he could have hit people for short gains, and he's trying to hit the home run all the time. They gave up on the rushing game. I thought too early. Cook was averaging 5 yards a clip. They gave up, Houston stopped a couple of our runs, and it's like they just threw it out the window. Then they stopped running the ball. Where were the Josh Allen runs? I mean, Josh Allen doesn't get hurt in a controlled run. These where he's going back to pass and he's getting crimped. This is where he's going to get hurt. Like he got whacked yesterday, and he said it was his chest, but it looked like it was his head to everybody else on the planet. So maybe he was not right there at the end of the game. And let's talk about the end of the game. 3 passes in a row from your own end zone, and I mean these aren't even short passes. These are like home runs. These are not high completion percentage passes. These are like crazy passes. So, I mean, somebody, I know McDermott said he would take credit for the play calling or the terrible clock management there. They should have spread out the wide receivers. I would have put out 4 wideouts and ran Josh Allen on a fucking quarterback draw up the middle. That's what they should have done, and got a first down and use the clock up, rather than trying to come up with some miracle play when your quarterback he's having a bad day, and you expect him to pull one out of his ass from his own end zone. He could have got sacked for a safety or fumbled back there. I mean, whether it's McDermott or Brady, they got to pull their head out of their ass and get their shit together. This team has got to somebody's got to reel Josh Allen in and say, calm the fuck down. You don't have to, we don't want this Superman shit, okay? Throw the ball short, throw it, whatever. Take what the defense gives you. You'll get your shots at some point. And they give up on the running game. They got to run the ball. That'll take the pressure off of Allen. And what if you get stopped a couple times? You got to stick with it. You just got to stick with it. It's an attitude. You just got to keep grinding. because it just seems like they threw the whole running game out and they put everything on Allen, and he's been not himself. He's been speeding up his process, running when he doesn't have to. They're getting a lot of pressure on him. And the offensive line, I think, has not been playing up to par either the last couple of games, whatever the fuck is going on there. But a lot of these teams are just putting the heat on us and saying, oh, we don't think you can beat us deep. So until they correct that or find some kind of alternative, we're going to be, up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. And how many games are we going to lose because of poor coaching strategy, clock management? McDermott, I mean, listen, I give the guy credit for getting us in the playoffs every year, for coaching up a good defense. But Jesus, how many games is he going to fuck up? I mean, you should be learning as you go along. Somebody needs to give him a book on coaching clock management strategy, because he has not gotten any better at it. He still makes these giant blunders, like throwing the ball 3 times from your own end zone. Insanity. Just insanity. So it's not just one thing. It's a bunch of things. And where's Dalton Kincaid? Why is he not getting how many times did they target him yesterday? I mean, I thought this guy was going to be a weapon for us. He did have that pass down the seam down the middle where Allen overthrew him or underthrew him on that one. So if it's not one thing, it's another thing. If the wide receivers aren't getting open, then Allen is overthrowing somebody or underthrowing somebody. And if it's not that, the offensive line is screwing up, and it's a combination of shit. But they better get it fixed, because this offense doesn't really, at this point, 5 games into the season, it doesn't look like it has an identity. What are we, on offense? So I guess we'll find out. The Jets, they didn't do too good in where they played overseas over the weekend. And Aaron Rodgers really looked old in that game. I mean, he really did. He did not have a good game. So hopefully we can beat up on the Jets this Monday night. But let's get our act together, for Christ's sakes. Brady, McDermott, whoever, get your shit together. And Donald Trump has added once again, of course, it wouldn't be a slick cast without us talking about some stupid, terrible shit that Donald Trump is doing. A lot of misinformation is being spread. Of course, we touched on this earlier. Hurricane Milton is on the way. Trump is spreading all kind of misinformation about Hurricane Helene and saying that FEMA is giving away funds. They don't have funds for FEMA because they were given to illegal immigrants, which is bullshit. As a matter of fact, the last time they had to use funds from the emergency management to help immigrants was in 2019 under the Trump administration, you see. That's right. A widely circulated claim falsely asserts that FEMA has run out of money because it diverted disaster relief funds to support undocumented immigrants. Trump has amplified this claim at a recent rally, saying that Kamala spent all her FEMA money on housing for illegal immigrants, and asserting that the Biden-Harris administration stole the FEMA money to give to undocumented immigrants. Total bullshit. These claims are false. FEMA has said it has funds for immediate response and recovery efforts from Hurricane Helene, but it may face a funding shortfall as more storms emerge this season. The agency said that no money is being diverted from disaster response needs. The shelter program and the disaster relief fund have 2 distinct sources of funding, both of which are approved by Congress. So you can't use one for the other. Although it did happen back in 2019, where Trump, actually, they used funds from the disaster relief to help immigrants. So isn't that just like Trump accusing other people of what he is guilty of?
They're eating the dog.
That's right. The last time disaster funds allocated for disaster relief were used for immigration purposes was in 2019 during the Trump administration. The Department of Homeland Security told Congress it planned to use $271 million allocated for disaster aid efforts and other initiatives to expand space in migrant detention centers and bolster a program that requires asylum seekers to wait in Mexico while their cases were being processed in the U.S. So, yeah, Trump is full of shit. Wow. I am shocked.
He's got a lot of problems.
He certainly does, doesn't he? And on the final note, watched a great new horror movie from 2024 on, I think it was Netflix. It's called The Deliverance now. I suggested this one to West. She watched it. She liked it. It's a great flick. Glenn Close is in it, and it's a story of this family. And, they've been moving around a lot, and they move into this. It's like the third place they moved into in a year. The mother's been in jail before, right? She's an alcoholic, recovering alcoholic, whatever. Glenn Close is like her mother. The kids, they're getting bruises on them and shit. They think that she's abusing them. And it turns out there's demons and shit at work in this movie. You got to check out The Deliverance 2024. Good flick. Good flick. And I watched a classic I haven't watched since the early 80s with Corey Feldman in it, Stand By Me. What a great movie that is. Haven't watched it in a long time, but I think it was a Stephen King story, and it was directed by Rob Reiner. And also in that cast was a very young River Phoenix, and also Donald Sutherland's kid, Kiefer Sutherland. Why did I say that? Kiefer Sutherland was in it. Plays a real punk-ass kid in this movie. And, of course, we have Richard Dreyfuss as the narrator. Great childhood story. Kind of takes you back to when you were a kid, back in the slingshot days, back. And listen, don't forget to tell your loser friends they can, of course, listen to the Slick One twice a week right here, slicktom.com. And we originate out of Podbean. We're also on YouTube, although not really a video, except a caricature of my handsome face. Apple, you can get the Slicks Open Bar on Apple. Also Spotify, Amazon, and iHeart as well. That's right. We're streaming on everything. So, put the word out there. Share these Slickcasts with your friends that maybe used to listen to the show back in the day. And help me out here with some subscribers. I mean, it is the least that my former listeners can do for me. You know what I mean? I mean, come on. I'm giving you pearls here. All right. Until later this week, remain calm. Circle the damn wagons. Go Bills. Live fast. Die old. Weed, whiskey, and Warren Zevon.
Hail to the king, baby.